What would you do if you had an angel appear to you, or if you ever heard that mystical voice? We've got so many things to cover today about the angelic realm, and welcome to Beacons of Balance. Arlene, do you realize this is the 65th episode,
How
which
could
is
it be? We're only
11?
25.
I know we're only 25 years old, huh? Anyway, welcome. Thank you, Arlene, our beautiful co host here. And look who we have back, the cosmic cheerleader, Isabelle Zimmerman. How are you, girl?
I'm great. Thank you so
Wow.
much for having me back. It's so
Oh my
awesome to see
gosh.
you both. Really, it is.
We're so happy to have you back
So
again.
happy.
We'll mention Isabel was with us before 7 months ago when she talked about Atlantis, right?
Oh,
Everybody can tune into that, and I'll mention that again at the end.
right.
But to begin with, so we're going to focus on angels today. We call them angels. Joanne and I, of course, you can see Joanne's beautiful artwork there in the background, and that's what connected her and I together almost, what, 33, how many years?
35 years ago.
35 years, oh God.
That's all. And it seems like yesterday, right?
I still can't because we're only 25, like I said.
I know. How did that happen?
So
Wow.
anyway, so anyways, we're calling them angels. Different, people call them spirit guides, right? Whatever, the etheric, the realm. And
Right.
so, Isabel, on your path, what was the first inkling? What transpired in your life to get you into all of this? Because we each have our stories, but what is your story?
Yeah. So I would say, believe it or not, angels do play a part in my awakening journey. And how that happened was I was writing a young adult novel called Unseen Light. And
Oh,
in that novel, I was researching angelic beings. I wanted to know if angelic beings mythology around the world. And so at that time, Google Translate and libraries were digitizing their text. So I would research Russian, I would research Chinese, I would research any library that had digitized information around angels, and then I would use Google Translate to translate the text. And
wow.
so in my research of angelics or angels, I had this epiphany of, wow, it's not just Christianity, it's not just in the Bible. Many, many countries or cultures, ancient, old, have talked about these angels. And at that time, I was also I still am, but quantum physics. And in quantum physics, I learned about the CERN collider, and I was really diving deep into research around quantum physics. And in that, when you go into particle physics, you kind of go into outer space and dark energy and light energy and dark matter and all sorts of things.
Mhm.
And then you uncovered that NASA has mapped 14.4 million galaxies. That's
Wow.
galaxies, guys.
Galaxies.
That's not stars.
Wow.
Galaxies.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. Wow.
Right? 14.4 million. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
In the
bad
Milky Way, in our little galaxies, we have 1.7 billion stars, and we're tiny.
Yes.
We're a very small galaxy.
No.
So, anyways, in that research, I had the epiphany of what if angels are galactic and they are a different species? And what if they're made of light and they're beings of light? So from there, I worked with a spiritual mentor, a couple of them actually, and one channeled beings of light. And it was Archangel Raphael with High Priestess Lakishma, Ascendant Master from Atlantis, that she was channeling. But it was Raphael who told me, Isabel, don't you know you're a light worker? And so I understand and work with many angels now, 7 years later, because one of my higher selves is Goddess Isis, and Goddess Isis is a high priestess, ascendant master, and she practices angelic magic. So I am fully aware how real angels are.
Wow. I'm so glad you brought it up that, through your research, that you saw that many, many different religions have talked about angels, and you see carvings and paintings going so far back, even Babylonian days, because a lot of people think, hey, it's only like this lifetime or something, or just in the last century. Not true.
Yeah, and not
They've
for
been around.
nothing. It's
Yeah.
like, Catholicism really is, they really do have a lot of angels in their
Right.
religion. And so when you don't, like, when you're not aware or you don't do your own research, you just kind of take like what everyone tells you. Like, oh, ask the angels or pray to the angels. And you do, and the main ones, because Michael and Raphael and Gabriel, I mean, they really have been assigned, and Sandalphon has really been assigned to this earth on Metatron. I know. Anyways, there's many. There's many.
Legions and legions.
Legions. But anyways, they all
Mhm.
have their specialty, and they
Right.
are all here to assist us. And there are specific angelic beings that are assigned to Earth. And so you may have heard some of those names that I mentioned. Please don't make me say them again, because they're right here. Um, and I love you guys. So anyways, there are many, 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 and you can talk to them. They are instantaneously right there. So if you have any human, blah, 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 angels are not real, cut your shit. They are real. They are very real. They are very close to God. That means their vibration is very close to source. And it is an honor. It is an honor and tremendous love to work with our angels. Tremendous.
They're messengers. They're messengers of God.
They're messengers, they're healers, they're teachers. They are way more. There's a hierarchy, I'm only using human words, but there's structure. Let me just say, in the realms of angelic realms, there is structures. And they're beautiful, beautiful beings. They are not only in the shape of man, of human looking beings. There are other angelic beings that look different from humans. Don't be myopic. The universe is vast, multiverse is vast, but they are very close in vibration to source. And many, many, many are coming here to assist us in our grand awakening. And so I am fully aware of angels. I have angel stories. I have friends who have had angel stories. Like, to me, it's like they're my friends. They're my friends, and I would not be here without my angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was doing a national show in Colorado, and a lady came up to my booth and said, God help you for lying. She goes, that only Gabriel could have come to someone in the Bible. And I'm like, okay, it just shows you how myopic so many people are. All you could do is bless them, you know?
Well, my better question is, so I think the listeners, because I feel you guys. I feel
Mhm.
like you guys are already open. So but I don't think it's you listening that are that you're open, you're open-hearted. But I think what I'm feeling from you guys is that your spouse isn't, or your mother isn't, or your
Right.
sister, or your best friend. And so you don't want to say, hi, I believe in angels. But I am telling you, those who are listening, hey, my angelic friends, can you touch them? Can you go ahead and give them chills right now? I want them to feel a chill run down their body. Good. And if some of you are crying, just know you've been touched by an angel, and great love, and accept it. And when you work with angels and when you talk to angels, always high regard, high love, and you say thank you. Gratitude is very important. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a moment, because I know you all have been touched, and it's okay. I know, you're welcome. I'm feeling like tremendous love.
Yeah, yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. They're real. They're real. They're real. I know
Yeah.
it's just like Santa Claus. It's just like Santa Claus.
No, they're here. I mean, my whole
They are
body is
here.
vibrating. Oh my
They
God.
are here. They are here.
But
They're
one
here.
point I wanted to make though for our listeners and viewers, they do want to be asked in. Invite them in.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So
They
we're
will
going to
show
go.
up. Yeah, they will show up when you have dire health accidents, things like that.
Yeah.
They'll come in. But I always used to, because I had my angel store for 20 years, and I would say to people, don't wait until you're in the brinks. Ask them to be around you, which yeah.
Yes. And you do
Exactly.
need to ask. So, Arlene,
Yes.
why do you think we have to ask?
Because they just don't want to interfere with our journey and our path of what we're going on. They
Right.
don't want to infiltrate. We are beings. We were created with free will and choice. So they don't want to skew that.
Right.
But if we ask them for guidance, they will show the little pebbles along the way. Do you pick door number 1, 2, or 3? You'll still get to the same point, but one could be real hell to go through. The easiest one, the easiest path. So they could pave it for you.
Right. They literally bow to
They
us
listen.
when they know that we're coming here to Earth School to learn our virtues. They bow to us because they know this is no easy gig. So,
And what you mentioned as far as a spouse or somebody else, and were you raised in any particular religious?
So my mother was raised in a convent in Catholic in Paris, France during World War II.
Bless her
oh,
heart.
wow.
Bless her heart.
Yeah. So, but believe it or not, my upbringing, I studied religion in college and in high school. So I went to many churches and many different factions. And so I wasn't, even though I was baptized Catholic, I wasn't really raised in one religion.
Well,
Oh,
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I'm a recovered Catholic, as Joanne.
Yeah.
We both are. But I've also been exposed to a lot of things. And what I want to say to the viewers also, I remember having my shop and people would come in. It was a place for everybody just to come in and love, to be in love and peace. And I remember this particular day, because a lot of times it would be like there was no one there, and then one person would come in and share this story. But this woman came in and she's looking around. She said to me, do you have any angels that don't look Christian, too Christian? I said,
Ah.
wait a minute. I said, no, they're in all, like you said, all aspects of every religion that's been out there and non-religions. They're winged beings that have been seen. They're, Sanskrit and everything. And I felt for this woman. She was raised through the Jewish faith, and she was Jewish. And she said she was just diagnosed with cancer,
Wow.
and she stumbled into my shop. And she was searching and wanted something to give her comfort and peace. I said, just walk around. She was absorbing everything. She said, I can't get anything because she couldn't bring it. She couldn't be exposed to have anything on her being that they would see. And I said, how
Wow.
sad. I said, honey, look at the Old Testament. They're in there. That's your book. But
Yeah.
anyway, I ended up, I said, open up your hand, and I put an angel in there for her. And I said, just keep this in your pocket, a little token.
Wow.
But
And that's it. That's that fear. It's that fear of, almost like a child. Oh, you believe in Santa Claus still, right? But angelic beings are very real, and it is not foolish to
The
act.
one question I always get, well, why don't my angels appear to me? And I'm like, be careful of what you ask for, because sometimes if they really did appear to you physically, it would probably freak the heck out of you. Because
Yes.
it's like, you might
Yes.
not be ready.
Yes.
So,
And also angelic beings are a very high vibration.
right.
And so if you can't, if your vibration cannot meet them, like you'll get
Right.
sick, like you'll get hurt, So
Yeah.
it is a vibration. It's very science. So, but you can have signs. And so, I'm going to share an angel story, and this is very kind of common. You'll hear that an angel intervened in a crisis, right? So it was a friend of mine, and she had rolled over her car 3 times and broke every window in her car. And we were at the kitchen table, and she took her purse and literally poured out glass. Okay.
Wow.
So that's how violent the accident was and how glass got into her purse. Okay. So she shares with me that 3 angels came and protected her. Do you know that woman didn't even have a scratch on her?
Yeah, I believe it.
Now I get like a paper cut. So can you imagine all the windows imploding in glass and you don't even get a nick, a scratch?
That's amazing.
So, her angels did come, and like you said, Joanne, they intervene because of your mission or your purpose, and it's not time yet.
I know I had a whole legion of angels come in when I was doing work with the United Nations. I was asked to go with the head of world citizen diplomats to Bosnia Herzegovina for their first official democratic vote. And they warned me, you might come back in a wooden box because the war was, it was still gunfire everywhere. And at the time, my boys were just little. And I'm like, even though it would have been an honor, but we just sent a legion of angels with the president and sent him over there. That vote went through just fine. But it's amazing. I do notice a change of guard, so to speak, when you're doing large projects that can affect humanity. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have met a lot more angels. Iboza, Pak, Potoke, and sometimes I don't know their names, just so you know, guys. I just sense them. But I just working with angels and really developing a relationship with your angelic beings. They are so loving
They
and
are.
they do want to help you. And you don't need to feel any shame or guilt or any of that discordance and fear. I invite you all to start talking to your angels. Say, can you give me a sign? Do you have a name that I would understand? What's that first letter? Maybe buy some angelic cards. Maybe buy a tarot deck of angels, right? Get to know the angels. Maybe start reading about stories of angels. Because when you call in angels, your life becomes even more glorious. And so, do you see that resistance is kind of silly? And I think it's because you guys are afraid to be hopeful and wishful. And what if it's not true? And I get that. I do.
Yeah.
But please don't let that hold you back. That's even sillier.
It's that fear. Who am I to have an angel appear to me?
Yeah.
In that fear, you're just putting a wall up.
Yeah.
So,
And there's so many different types of angels. I mean, some of them have a great sense of humor. I would not be here. I mean, Archangel Michael and Raphael, when I was awakening, I would literally almost pee my pants driving to work because Raphael, I don't know if you guys know this, but Raphael is a very good dancer. He's very wiry. He's a very good dancer. And Michael is like this Viking blonde, big, like Thor, god of Thor, just
right.
very strong, you know, very masculine. I'm sorry, they're talking to me. Very masculine, very straight face. Well, anyway, so Raphael, and because when you awaken, you'll go through some really sad parts of that awakening journey. It's a little brutal, but whatever.
Dark night of the soul.
Yeah, Dark Night of the Soul. And anyways, they would make me laugh. And my favorite one that Raphael did this to Michael, and God bless Michael, but Raphael dressed up Michael as a cowboy, disco cowboy. And just seeing the vest and the, John Travolta disco pants on Archangel Michael, that had me laughing so hard, so hard. And Michael is the greatest sport. And I said, Michael and Raphael, I said, you guys need your own TV show. You need your own TV show. You guys are so funny. But this is the relationship that I have with Michael and Raphael, right? And like, yes, I work with Michael and Raphael because I do sessions with clients. And sometimes I have to bring, not have to, but I ask Michael and Raphael to come into my sessions with my clients, right? For healing or clearing or whatever it needs to be done. But you can, don't just because Isabelle Zimmerman has a relationship with angels doesn't mean you don't have to. You can have a relationship with angels.
Mhm.
They're friendly. They're a friendly group. Yeah, they
Mhm.
don't turn you down. I know. Yeah, you won't get rejected by an angel. I know. Yeah, it's okay. It's safe. It's safe. Reach out to an angel. Yeah. In fact, that's the next t-shirt. Reach out to an angel.
It's interesting
Oh
what
my
you
God.
said before, then I'm bringing it up again, like, people may not want to connect because of what they're thought of their spouse or whatever. And I had this personally happen to me because I was so I had the store. I lived it 24/7 every, and my now exes, they would say, "Oh, ask your angel." They want you to do. I got plenty of my own work to do. You ask your
Right?
angel.
Oh my gosh.
People will
So
try to put that on you if they know you're working with them. Oh, we
my
call.
ex-husband, my husband, did the
Yeah.
same thing to me.
See?
Same thing, and I actually have a picture of him with his glasses because he lost his glasses, and I said, "No, no, 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 I'm not gonna ask the angels where your glasses are. You ask, Ken Zimmerman, you ask." And do you know he did, and he found his glasses, and he
Oh,
sent me a picture with him wearing his glasses.
oh my God,
And
that's
so,
funny.
like, I get it, but it's really, our fear of judgment from others. Look, humans have believed some really interesting things, guys. Like, do you
Especially now.
really, right?
Especially now.
Right? But do you really think with 14.4 million galaxies mapped, that's mapped. That's not like not even done, right? You really don't think there would be beings of light? Like really? And
Yeah.
Huh.
like angels have been around Earth? Like you do your own research, you know?
Yeah.
You do it. Don't believe me. I don't care.
I always tell people, don't believe me.
Don't believe me.
Go
You
out
do your
there
own
and
research. You
do
connect. You
research.
see what happens, right? And they're loving. They're like, oh my gosh. That would be like going to Earth and never eating chocolate. Like, really? Come on.
Oh my God. I got to tell you this story just to prove how powerful these beings are. Uh, I was out in, I was out west at a conference and I was with my son, Bob, and we were flying back. We were in the airport and unbeknownst to us, one of Bob's friends slipped a knife in his backpack. And that was when security was at an all-time high, right?
Right.
So I went through security. I turn around and there's no Bob. And I look back and I see the police dragging him off.
Oh no.
Well, I went over to the gate and everybody's on board already. And I just remembered what they showed me. You close your eyes and you stomp your feet into that ground as hard as you can. And you command, not demand, command. And I always work with Sandalphon. He's my guy. I said, Sandalphon, I am not getting on this airplane without my son. You get him right here immediately. And it was like a surge that went through me like I could have broke glass. And all of a sudden, I hear the attendant at the gate saying, ladies and gentlemen, we have to deplane everybody. We just found a dent in the side of the airplane that can affect the airflow. And I look up and here's Bob running down the concourse to me. So let me tell you guys, I'll never forget that. If they could put a dent in the side of an airplane, yeah,
Of course. And that it's funny that you say command. So when you start doing angelic magic, it is a command.
it's a command.
It's a command. And like you have to get over that because you're like, who am I to
Who am
command?
I? I know.
Right? But it is a process. So like you think Isabelle Zimmerman can command right away?
Yeah.
No. No, I could not. right away. It's sort of like it's like working with the dog. I'm not comparing angels to dogs, but I'm just saying that vibration. So calm down, everyone. When you command a dog to sit, you have to mean it.
Right.
And that dog will respond to sit, right?
It's the vibration going
It's
through
the
you.
vibration. You
Wow.
know, it's not it's a little bit of my tone, but it's really my vibration.
It's a vibration.
Because I could just
Oh,
say
yeah.
sit, like very quiet, and the
Right.
dog would sit, right? I don't have to
Exactly.
say sit, right? No,
Yeah.
no. It's that vibration. And
Yeah.
then and that's what it is. And how I had to do it was I have a daughter, and Madeline, I would not say no to her often, but there was a vibration within me to say no. I would say safety first, no. And that would be it. She wouldn't argue. She would just know, like, that's it. Mom laid down the law. It was a command. So that's
Right.
how I started getting into that energy of a command. It's not anger. It's
Totally
not
different.
anger, guys, but it's a command. You know it, you feel it, so be it.
It
Right.
goes back to, of course, I'm not a Bible person, but anyways, in the Bible or message from God said, commanded the mountain to move, and the mountain moved.
Yes.
That thing.
Yes. It is a command. And it
Yeah.
is,
Parted the seas.
Right.
it is. It
Yes.
is.
Something greater than I. So what does that all mean? Does it fall on false ears? Isabel, what do you say to people that say, why should I ask the angels or do the angel? Why don't I go direct to God. I don't need them.
You know, you can absolutely go direct to God, to source. But source might send an angel anyways.
Right. The angels are their helpers, their messengers.
But what I would say is do whatever is comfortable. But, to me, that's like, well, I only like this one pizza, so I'm not going to have I'm not going to try another piece of pizza or another kind. Or I only eat pizza and I'm not going to have a burger, or I'm not going to have salad. Why are you limiting yourself? It's fear. That's why. It's fear, because source, the creator of all that is, angels are source. We are source. We are all one.
Yeah. So what I would like to say is we're like source, just envision a wheel at the spoke, and we're spokes that come off. So
Yes.
part of that spoke, and the angelic realm is part of the spoke, and the
Yes.
Right. And interestingly, what I was shown, the angels are actually learning from us as well.
Yes.
So, very interesting.
Yes.
They look at us with such bemusement, like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I'm like, this distortion of light that we are experiencing, it is fascinating. It is. Like, I could see why they work with us. And then I always say to them, I'm like, I know, I'm just human. I'm in the forgetfulness spell.
Well,
since
you studied angels on your journey, on your path, you delved into all the different religions and so forth. Now, a lot of people, when you bring up, they challenge you with the angelic realm or whatever, and they'll talk about the fallen angels. So-and-so is a fallen angel. So how do they're not from the light. How do you?
Yeah. Okay. So the human stories of fallen angels are really talking about humanity falling, because we knew we were gods. So the fallen angels is really humanity falling.
we forgot who we are.
We preferred to, yeah. So an angelic being is always an angelic being. Like, they don't change species. They don't fall, guys. I'm sorry if you're shattered.
There's that story. There's that story. There's some story.
Sorry if you're shattered. Now, the fallen angels.
What are they telling you, Isabel? What are they telling you?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear them.
Give us, spill the tea. Spill the tea.
Tell us.
So this is what I want to share with you all. An angelic being is very close to source, prime creator's frequency of light. An angelic being can also imprint their essence into a human. Okay? Our soul is not in our body. We're in our soul. Again, I know I'm shattering a lot of things here. It's okay. You don't have to remember this. I'm not quizzing you. But just know that when you die, this physical body, you still exist because you're eternal. And so an angelic being can have other incarnations that they imprint their essence to experience different life. Okay? But in an angelic being in the angelic realm is always an angelic being. Okay? It's not that Isabelle Zimmerman knew this shit. I did not. They're telling me. So, Lucifer is the famous one
Right.
that fell. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Let me tell you a little bit about Lucifer.
He was supposed to be God's good buddy.
Lucifer, God bless him. Lucifer loves us so much that he lowers his vibration to help that level of consciousness kick back up to a higher level of consciousness. Do you know how painful that is? That is super painful, guys.
Mm.
He is taking the unwanted, the unloved, the most distorted beings of consciousness,
Mm.
and he is assisting them to rise, to see their own light. I could cry. I could cry of the service that Lucifer does for humanity, guys. And I don't want to go into conspiracy theories, but the misinformation around it, who gives a shit? I couldn't care less why they did it and blah, 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 blah. But I am telling you, you do your own research. You do your own research. And he is a bearer of light. And he is a beautiful, beautiful angel. He is not the devil. He is not distorted. His light is pure. He has not fallen. And if that shocks you, I don't give a shit. You do your own research. You go find out. You go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. Go ahead. Talk to him. Find out what happens. You might find some beauty. You might find some grace. You might shed your fear. Now, I honor my relationship with Archangel Lucifer. I was scared just like you. I was, because I heard all those stories. And so when he came to me with Hades, I said, I'm a little freaked out. I'm so sorry. I felt embarrassed. I felt embarrassed that I was having a human experience and embarrassed by Lucifer. And I said, Lucifer, I am so sorry, but I've heard way too many stories. And so do you mind if I read about you first? And I opened up my computer and I don't even know what I read or what websites, but got so much. And then the next day I went walking with my little white dog in Connecticut. And I went walking with my dog and Lucifer came with Hades. And then Lucifer says, are you okay? Are you not afraid anymore? I said, Lucifer, I can't believe you helped the forgotten, the unloved so much. Like, wow. Like, wow. And Hades, you too. Like, wow. You know? So anyways, I asked all sorts of questions. I asked about demons. I asked about fallen angels. I asked for an hour. Lucifer was so patient with me. I brought out every human blah, blah, blah story and everything I read. And he was so patient with me. So patient. And he says to me, he's like, oh, Isabelle, love is the most powerful frequency. Love is the most powerful force. There is nothing for you to fear, ever.
Love is all there is.
Love is all there is.
And they always say there's no right or wrong. There just is.
Now,
Yeah.
fear
So-
paralyzes us.
It
And
does.
touching on that, I mean, the forgiveness and just with our interactions, especially we start with our family units first. And the ones that give us the biggest thorns in our side, because I've done my processing through the years. When you realize that we come in here because we are souls, and we come in and we have contracts that we agree to. So we agree, I say up there, wherever, we agree, okay, if I have to learn forgiveness, like who's going to be the person or the persons I have to forgive? And then
Right.
one of your buddies comes up and says, I'll come in and I'll be that. And they
That's
play
right.
that role. They play that role.
They're
It's
They
just,
actors
do.
and actresses.
it's just roles that we play.
That is.
No
This is a
one
big stage,
Mormons, not one of us is more important than anyone else. We're all
right?
the same. That's big. And it takes some of us a long, long time to realize that.
Right.
We do.
Well, we bought into everybody's truths, for how many lifetimes? You've
Yes.
come in here with trillions of beliefs, trillions.
Yes.
And man, does that mess up your head? So,
Yes. Yes. So
But
Oh,
I hope.
this has been,
Yeah.
yeah, this
Uh,
has been awesome.
you're so in touch and they're with you. So I'll put you on the spot now.
Okay.
So what would they like to share with Joanne and me and us for this? What would they like to, or what would they like to share for our audience first of all? Then anything for whatever comes through.
No, I got you girls first. So they're thrilled. They're thrilled. They love it. They love the fact that you are talking about them, that you are bringing up different perspectives around their angelic beings and their missions and the different ones. And they rejoice. They rejoice. They're showing me trumpets,
Aw.
rejoicing, rejoicing. And you girls know that you are divinely protected, right? Your
Yeah, that we
angels
know.
are all around you. Your guardian angel is around you. There are many angels. Obviously, they inspire Joanne to paint, right?
So true.
Right.
Yeah.
And so who do you think inspired you to have the angel store?
I know. I know.
No.
In fact, when that happened, my husband at the time was losing. I had just taken the rent, the first space that I was in. I had just agreed to it. We had lost his job, and he said, "You can't do this now." Those were his words to me. Don't know. Now, normally I would go into. I mean, if your husband comes home, I lost a job, and he's the provider. Because at that time,
Sure.
I don't sure I was doing a part time something. He would go to like, oh my god, we can't. And I looked at him and I go, I'm doing it. I had the house. I said, I don't care if we have to sell the house. We could live in an apartment. We're
Yeah.
doing.
You know, and you know what you know. It's
And
just,
I said to him, manifest you want. You ask them.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Isabel, on a dime, he got a better position. And the place that was letting him go came back to him and said, no, we want you to stay now. But in the, that a better job
Mhm.
at a higher pay scale. So, and it
Yeah.
covered the difference in the pay, covered what I was making to absorb that. So, see, they,
Right.
They do. They clear the path.
Yeah.
They
I think
do.
when your work is there to help humanity and not about you, the doors fly open.
Yes, that is very true. In fact, they do want me to say that to everyone.
Yeah.
That you can ask for help for them. They love to have a relationship and they love to connect with you.
Right.
But they will not interfere over your higher self because your higher self is teaching you a lesson and your purpose and your mission. Okay. But angels can assist you when you ask, right? Now,
Right.
you may not like the answer, right? But that's okay because that's for your soul growth. Now, angels, when you start working with angels, it's not for selfish reasons.
Right.
If you're going to really work with angelic beings, you do not say for selfish reasons. It
Mhm.
is altruistic. It's altruistic. It's
Right.
for humanity. So when I work with my angelic beings, it is for humanity. It's not necessarily for Isabel. Now, for me, I might ask the angels, hey, can you help me? Can you give me an opportunity? Can you assist me? Can you give me some guidance around that? Now,
Mm.
I work with many spirit guides, so I have other spirit guides that come in to assist me. But there's a lot. I just can't even go through it all. It's like trying to tell you college and you're in kindergarten.
Right.
Like there's just a lot, kids. There is books and there are teachers and there's pencils and pens and there's computers just like in your school, but it's way more.
Sometimes you just have to experience it, and
You just have to. So let's just go right back to a little bit. Let's open up your heart. Let's not be afraid to talk to angels and ask for their guidance and support because they do want to guide you and they do want to support you. But again, it is governed by your higher self. So if you are not meant to win the lottery, you are not going to win that lottery, guys.
right.
Again,
And angels will only give you loving messages. They're not
yes, only
gonna
loving.
say you're a jerk, you're stupid. Why did you do that? If you're
No,
you're getting that type of feeling.
no. We are going through a grand awakening, and actually, the galactic beings are working with the angelic beings also, and they are pouring love and light in this ascension. So a lot of angels have been called even more. We had a lot, guys, but we're getting even more angelic, I guess, troops.
Right.
So yeah, those listening, you really might bump into an angel because there's
Isabel, I was wondering because there's so many more coming in now because of
so many more are
the
coming in.
grand shift, as they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Did you know the Schumann resonance has been off the charts?
Off
I
the
mean,
charts.
off
Off
the
the
charts.
charts. Yeah.
So I wonder if they have something to do with that.
It is. It's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm in some meetings. You know, I'm not privy to all of it, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And because I know I'm boots on the ground.
Yeah,
So yeah, so the Grand Awakening is really, really heating up. And these are exciting times,
they
just
are.
really exciting.
Well,
And I think talk about the angels. I think a lot of people awakening will feel more comfortable connecting with an angelic being than any other being. I know I did. I hear, thank you. Um, so connect with the angelic beings. Really, they love, all you have to do is think, call like in your mind, and they're right there.
yeah, it's all telepathic.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
touch on what you were talking about the energies and everybody, I just want our viewers, listeners, if you're feeling out of sorts, you're feeling fatigued, there's a lot of people are just feeling drained, for
Yes.
so it's
So
just our bodies are adjusting to raising our vibrations because we're all energy.
yes.
Not
So yes, you're
gentle,
having ascension symptoms.
be
Yes.
gentle with yourself. And if you want to sit and just, or lay down or whatever, just go with it. Don't beat yourself up over it because things are
Yeah,
changing. We're all changing and change.
exactly. And I just want to remind you beautiful listeners out there to go to beaconsofbalance.com. That's the website. And when you go there, you're going to see watch list or watch now. Click on that. And there are 65 episodes. So check them out and make sure to leave comments and
And
share, like.
and see beautiful Isabelle. She was on about
Yes,
7 months ago. It's episode 32, and it was called Atlantis Real.
right.
Atlantis, all about Atlantis.
Oh, Atlantis revealed. Yes. And I put
That
like
was good.
3 more. So we go into a past life of a session of Atlantis. Then you hear her higher self, and then you meet the person that went under, Anya. And that is really cool because we talk about the ascension, we talk about light language and magic. So there's a lot. And so if you want to uh, go to my website, attractingwisdom.com, there's a free meditation that it's only 10 minutes long, and you can connect to your spirit guides. And then a couple of days later, I send you a form because I want you to listen to it again. And there's a spirit connection form, and getting you aware of how you did connect or whatnot. Because again, I want you connected to the angels. I want you connected to your spirit guides. You'll feel lighter, you'll feel brighter, you'll feel calmer. These are shifting sands during the ascension. There's a lot of great change. A lot of fear comes up to the surface. So whether it's me or Arlene or Joanne, it matters not, but, connect.
Yeah, it's so important, and
Right.
that's what this channel's all about.
We're all about bringing balance. And
Yes.
so, Isabel, because this is Beacons of Balance, what do you do to create balance in your life?
So true. This is what I do, guys. When I'm not working, I do puzzles.
I was
Oh,
gonna say okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you
I do
glue them do
puzzles.
you glue them afterwards and frame?
No,
No.
no, I redo them.
Oh,
So I have a lot of Santa Claus puzzles because I
oh,
like to
wow.
get into the vibe of Santa Claus. Um, Santa Claus was so sorry. Santa Claus is so magical
It is.
and altruistic. Santa Claus is very altruistic, and Santa Claus is a great CEO. Santa Claus really does work with different entities to create much joy in simple things like toys, and works with children and has that inner childlike energy. So I like to connect to that essence for sure. And I go on walks. I go on walks. I go to the gym. I go to the gym not for weight loss or anything like that. I literally go to the gym to move my energy in my body. I go to the gym to move my energy. And like going walks is also great, but I find that I also need like weights and stuff like that. But whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
And I meditate every day.
Yeah.
But, you know, I am an ascension teacher, but I do meditate every day. I journal. I
Yeah.
journal. Get those thoughts out of your head. Here's the journal. Here, let's
That's a
see.
pretty one. I
I
like your
get I
cover.
get downloads all the time, but sometimes they have me draw. Okay. All right. All right. Here's a download. Let's see. Okay. So I drew. So one of the things that they would like me to help humanity with is so your thoughts are a geometric pattern, and you do not create your thoughts in your mind. You attract these thoughts. You don't make them up. You actually attract them through your vibration. So what happens is, let's just say a thought form is a square. And so you experience it and you say, oh, sorry, it's a triangle. It's a triangle. But really, it's a square. So what happens once you experience that thought form, once you experience that feeling and emotion from that thought, what they would like us to do is put it down. We would like to release it and put it down. And guess what we do? We take our little thought and we hold it to ourselves. And then we take our thought and we go into the next incarnation with that thought. Little rocks, and they would like for us to put the rocks back down. Yeah. Uh-huh. I
That's an
know.
interesting thing that you say rocks, 'cause, the first Wednesday of the month at 11 o'clock, I do a healing meditation for the world. It's only like 15 minutes, and one of the things when we start, I have everybody cup their hands like this to make a basket and put it under your heart, and I said, "We pile up rocks through all the things," and I say, "Empty it out and let
Empty the
release it."
rocks.
You know?
Yeah.
That was confirmation for you. Thank you.
Yes, it's really true. We carry the rocks. And one of my ascension keepers is a higher self, and she works at the Akashic Library, and she cultivates the ascension. But this is what she says to me. She's like, Isabel, we gave you the rocks, and we understand that you understand the geometric form and the lessons and stuff like that. You should put the rocks down. But we really would like you guys to also release your stories. you know, can you return the book back? Can you just return the book back and get a new book? Because you're supposed to experience a different story. So we would like for you to return the book back to the library. You're not going to get penalized. Just return the book, get a new book. And so,
That's good. I
That's
love it.
That's wonderful. Wonderful advice. Thank
Oh, thank
you so
you.
much
Thank
for
you.
being here. I want to thank our listeners. Thank you for watching, for listening. And like Joanne said, go to Beacons of Balance. You have to actually go on your computer and type in Beacons of Balance, and you'll see videos to watch. They're archived. But also, we need you to subscribe. Go down to the link below and subscribe. And please put your comments, your likes. It's very important for us to grow this channel. We
And
want to grow-
share.
and share. I always forget to share. Yeah, share.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. And down below, we're going to have beautiful Isabelle's, all her information linked below this episode. And you
Right.
can go to the previous episode and watch her on that also.
Yes.
We want to thank you so much. Remember to be the beautiful beacons of light that you are and shine your light out into that world because we need it.
Exactly.
Thank you, my beautiful friend, Joanne.
Thank you, Arlene.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isabelle.
Angels.
Thank you.
Angels. Bye, everyone. We love you.
Bye. Love you, dear.